So it's great to see so many people joining us today, and we'll begin with some introductions. So my name is Emma McCocken and I am Senior Engagement Officer with the Financial Hardship Programme, which involves various projects and initiatives, including Digital Kent, the Household Support Fund, Healthy Start, and of course, ReferKent. And I'm joined today by my colleague, Mark. Mark, if you'd just like to introduce yourself.
Morning, everyone. My name's Mark Davison. I'm Engagement Officer with the team. So I go out and promote our services and support events, and alongside Emma in managing the ReferKent platform.
Lovely, thank you, Mark. So I'd like to welcome you all to today's session, which has been specifically designed for professionals who are already registered as users on the ReferKent platform, however, are yet to start actively using the system. Now, we understand that many people on the call today may not have been involved in their organisation's initial discussions about signing up to ReferKent. So our first goal of today is to provide you with information about the system, including the aims and objectives and how the system has developed and continues to develop. Our second goal of today is to familiarise you with the system's functionalities through some live training. Our hope is that by the end of this session, you'll recognise the huge value that ReferKent offers, not only to you as professionals, but also to your clients. So we will start the session with an overview of ReferKent, and that will be followed by some training, which will be facilitated by my colleague, Mark. So ReferKent is one of the many projects within Kent County Council's Financial Hardship Programme within the referrals workstream. Research during the pandemic told us that people who needed support were often being signposted to support, but quite often that support wouldn't come to fruition. Perhaps this could be because the client didn't have the confidence in reaching out, or they were being passed between different organisations. And often people reported that this was leaving them feeling quite deflated and often falling even further into hardship. From this piece of research, a working group was formed which aimed to improve how professionals can support the public to access the right support at the right time, and that led to the development of the ReferKent system. So ReferKent was subsequently launched in late 2022, with the main aim being to mitigate the action of signposting. So ReferKent, it's an online referrals platform for professionals to make referrals for residents of Kent and Medway who are over the age of 18. The system makes referrals simple, safe and secure between the network of organisations who are on board the system. So at first, the team targeted organisations who support with financial hardship difficulties, but that quickly expanded to accommodate many different types of advice and support services. Having mental health services on board has been one of the key priorities, as we all know that money worries and mental health often interlink. So now we have a number of mental health services on board. We also have Every Citizen's Advice Bureau in Kent on board, and to date we have 285 organisations and teams on board, and more than 1,000 individual users. And as you can see from the visual on the screen, these are just some of the organisations that we have currently, and we continue to onboard more and more organisations on a weekly basis. And I'm sure that there are many of these logos that you recognise and probably already signpost to or refer to. Organisations can onboard to ReferKent to make and receive referrals, or just to make referrals. If your team or organisation are only making referrals, your organisation won't be visible on the system to the other users. ReferKent enables you to use different functions to search for specific types of support or to browse the different organisations that are on the system. Once you've chosen the most suitable organisation to refer your client to, you simply click on the Make a Referral button. And the referral form is the same for every organisation that we have on board. And as you'll see during the training section of today's session, the referral form is very short and it's very simple. When your chosen organisation has received your referral, they have the choice to accept, decline or forward the referral. And you'll receive an email notification of their decision and of any further updates. On accepting the referral, the organisation will aim to make contact with the client within 3 working days, and then they will update the outcome of your referral from a selection of categories. And following that, they will close the referral down on ReferKent, and they will continue to use their own case management systems. As part of the ReferKent package, we also facilitate various engagement activities. So on a monthly basis, we facilitate an online networking forum for professionals. So these sessions are an informal drop-in where professionals from various organisations can introduce themselves and share updates about services and projects that can be referred to. So this is a great opportunity to keep up to date with support that's available across the county and to build strong partnerships. We also facilitate spotlight sessions on a regular basis, whereby we put the spotlight on an organisation who can then showcase their service offer. This is a great opportunity to delve deeper into some of the organisations that can be referred to through ReferKent, and of course the opportunity to ask any questions. Our monthly newsletter details all of our upcoming spotlight sessions where you can book, you can access the booking form, and it provides information on new schemes, projects and events across Kent and Medway. So if you would like to sign up to our newsletter, we will pop the link for you in the chat so you can request your preferences. Regular updates can also be seen on our ReferKent LinkedIn page. And finally, you can watch our previous spotlight sessions on the ReferKent YouTube channel, along with short videos which demonstrate how to navigate the ReferKent system. And again, we will pop the link to the YouTube channel in the chat. So finally, just to share some of the positive feedback that we've received from our existing partners and users regarding the ReferKent platform and the wider package. I won't read them out, but I'd just like to highlight that the most common piece of feedback that we receive is professionals stating that ReferKent saves them a huge amount of time. And we all know how precious time is in our very challenging positions. So this is because ReferKent can act as a service directory and one central resource to make and track referrals. So it has a real positive impact on time for professionals, and also it takes that pressure off of our clients in having to reach out to another organisation for support, because the organisation will call them directly. So that concludes the first section of today's session, where we've provided an overview of ReferKent. So now I'd like to hand over to my colleague Mark for the training session. So over to you, Mark.
Hey, good morning everyone again. Hopefully everyone can see my shared screen there with the homepage of the ReferKent platform.
Yep, we can see that.
Yep, excellent. Okay. Someone else just popping in and joining us, perfectly timed. So yeah, this is the homepage. Emma will share the link in the chat just in case you've mislaid this or you aren't familiar with it. I've got it saved to my favourites because I actually am a ReferKent user myself. So when I'm out at events facing the public, I will make referrals through the platform. A couple of things I'd like to highlight on the homepage before I log into the test site. One is this message on the right-hand side here, which does highlight the fact that the system is designed for referrals, which will be actioned in due course, and it is not designed as a safeguarding or an emergency service contact platform. If you have a safeguarding concern, please then follow your organisation's process and procedure. If it is an emergency, as it says here, then yeah, you've got the out of hours numbers for KCC, adult and children's services, but also, just to remind people, it is an emergency. It may well be a matter for 999 rather than making a professional referral. The other thing to highlight on the homepage is, as Emma mentioned, it is also, ReferKent, as well as being a referral platform, is also a directory of services as well. So before you log in, you can actually view the variety of services that are available under the 25, 26, I think, different categories, as you can see on the screen there. Some services will be listed under more than one category because they offer a variety of different services. Some agencies may just appear under one category. So, for example, we'll just pick addiction advice and support. If you go to view the agencies under there, then you will see a number of the different onboarded agencies that offer this type of support, a description of what they do. And as you can see, the Rainbow Centre have got a variety of categories of service that they can offer. Addiction support being just one of them. So they would appear on several of the categories. So, okay, so we'll now log into the site. So I'll sort of take you through the whole process. So to go to sign in at the top, you should hopefully have usernames. If you have mislaid your usernames, then please contact the team. We'll share the contact team email address at the end. Likewise, passwords. If you need passwords resetting, then again, please, it's the ReferKent@kent.gov.uk email address, and pop us a message and we will get that sorted for you. So username and password, you do need to make sure every time you log in, you just tick that little box there, regards cookies and terms and conditions. If you want to read the terms and conditions and privacy policy, you're more than welcome to click on the links. But as your organisation's already signed up the service lead agreement and data sharing agreement, then I hope that everything is okay with regards those. So then click the green sign in button. Ah, that was quick. So we're into the platform. So this is what your own home page would look like when you log in for the first time. It will say welcome, and then it would have the name of your organisational team there. Underneath, it would have your name, and then whether or not you're a primary user or a user. And I will explain what those two mean in a moment. And where it's got the grey tower blocks on my home screen, then that would be showing your organisation's logo, so you know you're on your own home page. On the home page, it will give you an overview of how many referrals you've got open or accepted or have been updated over the last 2 weeks, so you can see a bit of history of your activity. And it will also give you a list of referrals that are open or ongoing, or where there's been updates as well. So you can keep a track of the referrals that you personally have made. So to make a referral, which would be the first thing I would suggest most people will want to do once they're into the system, you've got some functions along the top here. You have got make a referral. If you click to that, you then got a couple of options. As you can see, I've got some favorites that I've added to my list, which are ones that perhaps I've used before and are regular, perhaps ones that I make referrals to. Or you can list all the agencies. Now, listing all the agencies is not probably the smartest or quickest or easiest way to make a referral, because that will take you to a screen then where you then physically have to click through all 285 agencies, or those of the 285 that receive referrals. A much more sensible route of going is if you use a search function. So you've got two options here. One is you can search by the agency's name. So not picking on anyone, but I don't know, I saw BMix this morning on our LinkedIn page had shared something. So I can type in their name, click on them, and it will take me through to their page. So this tells me all about what BMix offer. So what areas they cover, their contact details, where they're located. It gives me an overview of the services that they provide. So I can sort of think about whether or not BMix is the people I want to make a referral to. It tells me when their service is open, so I can give people an idea of when they may get contact when I'm talking to them before I make a referral. And now it says make a referral to BMix. So if I click that green button, now this takes me through to the referral form that Emma mentioned earlier, which is very basic and requires very limited information in order for your client or customer, whatever you call them, to start on the journey to getting support. So basically at the top, you've got 6 boxes that you need to complete. You need to complete the title. You need to complete the person's first name, and their surname. And you need to provide either a phone number or an email. You don't have to provide both. If you can provide two, then obviously it gives two options then for contact. I'm just going to put my phone number in on this occasion, and it will ask me to put in the town. So I live in Sittingbourne. So I'm going to put in Sittingbourne. You need to identify how your client prefers to be contacted. So whether that's email or phone. I can only choose phone because I've only put a phone number in. And you need to confirm that your client is happy for them to receive a phone call or a text message or to have a voicemail message left for them. So this is part of the data sharing agreement. You know, we're quite adamant that we want to make sure that it doesn't turn into a cold call site, so that when an agency makes a call, that person receiving the call is expecting contact. So about the referral, so I'm going to make a referral to BMix. So it might be Mark would like to get some work experience. BMix offer placements and it's supporting internships, so that would be appropriate. So that's all you need to put. You don't need to put any more information than that. Assign a referral category. So BMix, as you can see, offer 4 different services. So you pick the one that's appropriate. So I said I wanted some work experience, so employability support. Any other notes for the agency that you think are relevant that might be, you know, about what time of day or the availability. So Mark only answers phones after 3 p.m. I like a good long lay in the morning. I'm perhaps a fairly typical neat teenager who doesn't surface too early. You can even attach a file. So if you've got some additional information in way of an attachment, you can. You've got an attachment option. And then finally, to make the referral, you need to click 2 boxes. One, that you've got the client's consent to make the referral. And the second one is that you agree with the Data Protection Act 2018, which you've already signed up to through the data sharing agreement, but we ask every time that people confirm that. And that's it. So that is a referral. If I now click create new referral, BMix will receive an email, their primary user, advising them that there's a new referral on the platform and that they then have that 3 working day period to respond to that referral. You will get an email confirming that you've made a referral. So on your home screen and in your records, it will then show you've made that referral. And your client now will start to get support for a service that you've identified with them that they need. So that's as easy as that to make a referral. So the other way of making a referral is if I go out to the search function, is the advanced search. So with the advanced search, it gives you a screen then that lists all the categories. So if you know the type of service your client needs, but not the agency, so I picked on employability earlier on. So if I pick employability, there's some other options here which we recommend people don't generally use because it may well then lead you to not getting sufficient hits. You can organisation type, you can identify whether people offer a drop-in, whether or not people have got an on-site play area indeed. But the main things that we recommend is that people choose the category you're looking for and then the district that that individual lives in. So I live in Swale, but I work from Maidstone, so I could access services in Maidstone as well. Swale is also close bordering on Medway, so I could access Medway services as well. So if I now do a search, it will now find me agencies that offer the type of category I'm looking for and in the locations that I've asked for. So it's come up with Beam, Fusion, Healthy Living Centre, so they offer the Office of Employability there, RBLI, who I'm sure most people will have heard of, and then other agencies that are not necessarily in my locality but are in Kent. So I've now got BMix have come up again, CAP, CXK, Kent Adult Education, Runway Training, Headway Kent, and as you can see, some more agencies as well. So for argument's sake, I'm just going to pick another one now. So if I want to view the details of Headway Kent to find out whether or not they're actually who I'm looking for, I can have a look at them. They are a charity that supports people with acquired brain injury. They did a spotlight session for us recently, so I know quite a bit about them. So I think, yeah, they might be the people, and I think I might make quite a few referrals to these people going forwards. So I mentioned favourites earlier on. So that little green heart there, I can add them to my favourites, and it's now gone red. So if I go to make a referral now, Headway Kent have now appeared in my favourites list. So just another way of finding the people that you're looking for, and a little quick shortcut through to that. So that's how you find support that you're looking for and make a referral to an agency on behalf of a client or customer. Each time you would make a referral, you do need to click those consent boxes. Even if you wanted to make a referral perhaps for the same person to 2 or 3 different agencies, each time it will come up with that consent box. Yeah. So heading back to the toolbar at the top, we'll go back to the home page. So I mentioned earlier that on your home page, you can track referrals that you've got open and see the history of referrals that you've received and made and what's happened to them. So on the top, on the toolbar, you've got a referrals tab, which then allows you to view the referrals that you have made and received. So if I go to accepted to start with, this shows the referrals that our agency has accepted. So we've made a referral and the organisation we have referred to has accepted that referral. So to view the details of that, if you click on the view button on the right hand side, it will take you through to that referral. It will allow you to see then the history of what was done. So Emma here has opened that referral. She's made a test referral. So you can see that Emma has got the client's consent, consented to the data protection, and got email consent for that person to be contacted by. Where she's made a referral, there's also been a note added saying, can you share the postcode? So where I'll show you a note section in a minute. And then the person who's received the referral has put a note back saying, does this work? So you can see that you can get two-way conversation going about the referral that you've made. So once you've made that referral, you get a notification, like I said, that the agency has received it. Once that agency then takes action on that referral, you will get a notification through the system asking you to log in to check what they've done. So it may be that they put a note saying, we've now contacted Mark. We've made an appointment for him to come in and see us on Tuesday at 10 o'clock, for example. If that agency then puts further notes, you will get further alerts then to go into the system to see that note. And you can then respond to those notes. So higher up on the section here, on that referral, you've got a note section. So you can add then a note in. So I'm going to put a note in saying, client has now been contacted and appointment made. You can choose to see who sees that who gets a notification about that referral note. So I'm going to say both Emma, who made the referral, and ourselves are receiving it. I want that. Add a note, and that note now will show in the history of the notes. So you've got that paper trail, if you like, about referrals. So for some agencies, particularly statutory agencies that may be making referrals, this would be useful evidence then obviously for case files or whatever else you need to keep hold of. So that shows you a little bit of the history. If this referral now is going to be closed, and I'm saying, right, okay, all the work is now done, I can go to the top where it's got a green button and say add outcome. and I can select the outcome that debt advice has been given, damp and mold service has been given, and that service has now been provided. The inspector's been out and done the wall cleaning, treated the paintwork, whatever the action might have been. I can add the outcome, or I can add the outcome and close the referral. So if the job is done and that client has received everything they need, you would add the outcome and close it. If it's an interim perhaps action, maybe it's just that an appointment has been booked, then I would just add that outcome again with a note saying, yeah, appointment Tuesday 11th. And that outcome has been assigned. So now on the trail again, there'll be further evidence now. That bar has now gone green, as you can see, because action has been taken, but it's not filled in completely because the referral hasn't been closed yet. So there's an appointment booked, but what we don't know is yet what the outcome of that appointment will be. So you'll get another opportunity to update that referral once you've provided the service. And all the time you've got those emails, like I said, going back and forth, so you know that action's been taken on the referral you've made. And likewise, if you're the receiver of the referral, you can then update the person who's made the referral. And that is basically all of the actions and the functions as a regular user that you have. If anyone on the call this morning is what's called a primary user, my test login is primary user, you will then have 3 extra tabs at the top. You have one which is reports. So as the primary user, you can data export all the referrals that your agency has made and received. So you can get an overview of how many that you've made, how many are open, if any haven't been closed, if you need to speak to your team to make sure that they close down referrals. So you've kind of got that management function, if you like. As a primary user, I've also got the system tab. So that will allow me then to update the agency details. So I can change what regions my agency works in. I can add some notes. I can put in more information about opening time. So I can say, oh, actually now we might be opening on a Saturday, or I can change the working days. And I can also change the categories of action that we provide. So if you started a new project, for example, or something that you deliver ends, you can then add or take that away. And we would ask that everyone who's a primary user make sure that their agency details are up to date, because the platform is reliant on each other, making sure it is as up to date as possible, because we want this to be as useful and of as high a value to the people of Kent as possible. You can also, under the system, amend my details as well. So I haven't got a picture uploaded, but you can upload a picture. And you can also make sure that your details are up to date, and you can change your password as well on this section. And then finally, as a primary user, I can manage the users on the system. So if I go users and list all, so that shows you then the list of all the users on our test platform. So you've got ReferKent test, which is me, and you've got Sophie test. And as you can see on the side, I can enable or disable these users. So at the moment, Sophie, who used to work in our team but no longer does, is disabled. So she can no longer access the system. So we would ask that as soon as anyone leaves your organisations and moves somewhere else or moves on, that you disable their access, because obviously under GDPR, we would not want people accessing the platform for who it is no longer relevant. You can also add other users as well. So very simply, first name, last name, username is usually provided. You would usually use their first name and their last name. As an organisation, you may decide on something different, but the quite simplest one we use is first name, last name. You need to put in an email and a contact number for each user, and then you decide whether they are a primary user or not. all organisations, we would recommend you have at least 2 primary users. So if you are a primary user of your team or organisation and you think you're the only one, please do identify a second primary user. So if I had somebody new and I tick that box, they will then have primary user access. So they will then be able to oversee the system as well. So that covers people who are on sick, people who are on leave, or if the primary user leaves the organisation, then you've still got one primary user left who can access the platform. We have had situations where the primary user has left the organisation and then no one else then can access or manage the platform. And dare I say it, that's all there is to ReferKent. It's quite a basic and easy to use website, I would suggest. But on the same breath, it is a very valuable resource because at your hands you have 285 different organisations and teams who can provide support and help for your clients, which is something that you may not be able to do yourself.
Thanks, Mark. And I think you navigated the system beautifully. And I think, you gave a really strong overview of how it can be used. Just to highlight, so we do have our YouTube channel, which we've mentioned during the presentation, and I believe the link is already in the chat. So here we have a playlist of various videos that are just 1-2 minute long, which show you how to navigate different aspects of the system. So if you're particularly interested in how you accept and close down a referral, there's a short video that you can access, which will demonstrate how to do that. All of you, as I said at the beginning, you are all registered as users on ReferKent. If you're not sure what your username is, or you're having difficulties with logging in the first instance, speak to your primary user within your organisation. If you're not sure who that is, that's fine. Again, you can reach out to us at the ReferKent email address and we can kind of talk you through that login process, making sure you have all of that information. As you know, the session today has been recorded, so we'll also put the link to this session on our YouTube channel. So if you feel that you need to share it with colleagues, then you can access that quite easily. And finally, just to kind of say thank you to everybody for coming along today. We hope that this will kind of enable you to make use of the system and kind of have that as another resource within your toolkit. So we'll bring the meeting to a close. We're bang on 10:45, so great time management today, everyone. Thank you very much.